And now, for your listening pleasure, the Blazing Defender Report with your host, Travis Jones.
And welcome, everyone, to the latest edition of the Blazing Defender Report. How's everybody doing? I'm your host, Travis Jones, the Blazing Defender, here to defend you from making a poor purchase at the comic book shop. Guys, welcome. I know you're probably watching this going, why are you in a fucking tank top, nerd? I mean, really? Is it so hot in your house? You don't have fucking AC? You have to wear a tank top when you record? No, trust me. I'm not that big of a douchebag. I'm a total douchebag. Not disagreeing with that. But my AC went out yesterday. My AC guy couldn't get here today. He'll be here tomorrow. I need to get his show on the books. Got some great comic books to talk about. I'm upstairs. My upstairs is poorly insulated and there's no AC. So it's hot as shit up here right now. But hey, I suffer through this shit for you. God damn it, for you. Guys, really thank you for joining me. Welcome my Facebook guys. I'm live on Facebook, trying it for the first time. I know some of you are like, what happened to the Periscope? Periscope was letting me down. I don't know what their issue is with bandwidth or anything like that, but it really wasn't kind of what I wanted. Maybe Facebook Live is the answer to my problems. I really want to have a live show while I'm doing this. And then, of course, I'm always going to have the YouTube show, always going to be on Blog Talk Radio. So Blazing Defender Report, go there if you just want the audio version. And if you want the beautiful YouTube version, we're right here too. So, okay. Reason we didn't have a show for the last few weeks. As you know, guys, I got a new dog. We're doing some things to the house. I'm trying to move Blazing Defender Studios to another area. And just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm not bitching about that. I know somebody asked me why I haven't had a show, and they're like, man, the comic book's been terrible. No, they really haven't been. We are in kind of a transition right now, especially DC, and we're going to talk about that today. And even Marvel for that reason. They've released some new books, some we're going to talk about today as well. This past week, okay, I believe this is the 31st, maybe June 1st. Last week's books were pretty fucking epic and stellar, and that's the reason I had to do this show, because I could not let these books go by. There's been some good stuff. There's some great stuff in this pile today, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. But that's the reason for this not being a show. I apologize. Meatheads on movies. I had been doing that, and people have been like, are you just doing Meatheads now? No, I'm not. I'm doing this show as well. I always do this show. Always do this show. Meatheads is kind of a show with Big Sam and I. We're always going to give you that. But when there isn't a movie that kind of fits our genre or my fan base, then I'm probably not going to do a Meatheads for a while. But we've got several shows coming up. We're getting ready to do the X-Men Apocalypse show probably Saturday. I'm hoping we get that recorded Saturday, because then we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we're going to view. We're going to do a show on the Ninja Turtles. And then June 10th, we have World of Warcraft. So I feel like that fits the fan base and our genre, and we're going to do that show as well. So I'm pretty excited about all of them, really. The X-Men Apocalypse review, don't miss that. I think it's gonna be a little different, because I think Sam and I viewed it two different ways. So we've always agreed on stuff, which still makes for a good show, but I think this time we might have an opposite opinion. So please view that show. You'll find that on the YouTube channel, the Blog Talk channel as well. Okay. Always, you can go to BDR.com, BlazingDefenderReport.com for all this stuff. I always post links to the YouTube channel. Always go there. I want to talk about the Giant Size Team Up Network that I'm a part of. I call it a nerd den for nerds. You like heroin, you like coke, you can always go to a drug house and find your shit, find your jam, go upstairs, light up the spoon, and just chill out, take your clothes off, get weird. You know, that's what nerds do. That's what heroin addicts do. So This is the heroin den for nerds. They don't like calling it that. It's not PC enough for them, but I'm kind of the non-PC guy, the network, so I don't give a fuck. But if you're a nerd and you like nerd shit, go to giantsizeteamup.com. You're going to find a show on there that you love. I promise. Show's way better than mine. So if you're digging this, you're really going to dig those guys. So please check that out. A lot of good stuff on there. So good, as a matter of fact. Breaking the Panel, the flagship show of the network, was nominated for a podcast award this year. Fucking outstanding. That is, I mean, I'm so tickled to death. You can go to blazingdefenderreport.com. I've got a link posted in the pinned notes section that tells you how to go and how to vote for Breaking the Panel for the podcasting awards. Very, very proud of those guys. Yours truly, Big BD, will be co-hosting on there this Thursday. The show will probably be up Friday or Saturday, I'm sure. But I've co-hosted the last Breaking the Panel. Have a good time talking with those guys. Man, we just sit around and talk about geek nerd shit. That's all we do. We talk movies. We talk stuff that's going on. We're probably going to talk. This is going to be my topic. FYI, Chris Wisdom, do not fucking steal this topic from me. But we're going to be talking about all the Captain America hoopla. I don't know if I've ever seen a comic book that has gained more, can we say, negative publicity? Is there such a thing? Than the last Captain America book, the brand new Steve Rogers Captain America comic book, which I'm going to give you a full review tonight. That's one of the reasons I want to do the show. I wanted to get that out there because this comic is, you got people burning it. There's videos online of people lighting a fucking comic book on fire. And trust me, not a bigger Cap fan than me. So huge Captain America fan. I'm going to tell you my thoughts and opinions on it like you give a shit about them. But they might align with you and you might say, man, you're a fucking idiot. If you do think I'm a fucking idiot, please let me know why I'm a fucking idiot. If it's good enough, if it's a good enough reason, I'll air it on the air. I will definitely bring your comment to the internet, which there's bad comments on the internet. What? Not that'd be a bad comment just because you disagree with me, because trust me, you probably should disagree with me at some point during this review. But please go to Giant Size Team Up. Check it out. Check out Breaking the Panel. I will be co-hosting Thursday night. Blog Talk Radio. Again, that's on the network. That's actually our flagship show other than mine. But another thing I want to talk about real quickly, because I don't have any talking points on it this month, is a Loot Crate. If you don't know what Loot Crate is, the Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box for geeks and gamers. And what happens is once a month, you're going to get a box. You're going to have a shit day at work. You're going to have a shit day with your girlfriend and your wife, maybe both at the same time. I don't know. And you're going to be like, man, fuck this shit. Life sucks, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be pulling in your driveway and you're going to look on your porch and you're going to see a Loot Crate box. And automatically your day's going to get better. It still may suck, but it's not going to suck as bad. Loot Crate has a licensed gear. And when I say licensed gear, like this isn't bullshit. Like Marvel licensed gear, DC licensed gear, Warcraft licensed gear. All that stuff is licensed by whoever makes that manufacturer. So it's going to be really good stuff. I've got some Loot Crate boxes with some fantastic stuff in it. So for the money, it's a great deal. You get about $45 worth of stuff for about 18, 19 bucks, I believe. Now, I'm going to save you some money on your Loot Crate box just for fucking tuning in. Go to lootcrate.com/giant size team up. Okay, and the reason I enunciated that way is because people want me to spell that shit. I'm not spelling it. If you go to my show notes on this show, it'll be a link that you can click on. Just click on the link, go to coupon code, and put in no spaces. Don't write that, no spaces. There's no spaces. Giant size team up. Boom. Going to save you some loot on your Loot Crate. Check it out, guys. It really helps us out if you subscribe. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. And as soon as I know what this month's theme is, then I'm going to get out there for you. And that way you kind of get an idea of what you might get. But I always like to be in surprise. But that's just me. I'm kind of goofy like that. All right, guys. Let's get to the reviews. I can't hold this back anymore. For one thing, I'm sweating to death right now, so I've got to get the fuck out of here. But I got so much I want to talk about. All right, here it is. For my audio guys, I apologize, but I'm showing the cover of Captain America. Steve Rogers, Captain America #1, brand new. Okay, now this is the variant cover. This is Horseman of Apocalypse. There's several books this month doing the Horseman of Apocalypse variant covers. This is the Steve Rogers one. I thought it was pretty cool. There's only a couple more bucks than the regular issue, so I said, why not? All right. Now, I got to break out my notes for this motherfucker here. What I did is I broke this issue down to pros and cons. Okay? I like to keep the show positive for the most part. All right? So, positive points of Steve Rogers, Captain America #1. Fucking phenomenal artwork. Yervez, I think it's how you say his name. Phenomenal. Great job on the artwork. There's a scene where Cap is fucking up a bunch of skinheads, a bunch of Nazi supremacists, white supremacists. He's busting them up. The art looks fantastic. Cap looks great. He's got his new Captain America uniform. I know it's drawn some controversy. I think it looks really cool. I think we were due for a change. The shield is something that I didn't know if I was going to get behind or not, because he really can't throw it. It ricochet off things and come back. But he's using this shield in different ways, and when the artwork, when he's using the shield, looks really, really cool. I'm hoping they really get creative with that. The shield in this book actually just kind of does what you think it would do. It's got that laser point on the end. He kind of cuts through a not a spaceship, but an aircraft with it at the top. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. The variant cover was very cool. The regular cover was just okay. It's just kind of Cap in the new uniform. They're wanting to highlight that, which I understand. The action sequences, again, very, very good. Very, very well drawn. The story, now, I had this down as a pro. I love Nick Spencer, okay? His Captain America run with the Falcon was just okay to me. It got really boring really, really quick. But I really wasn't into that character, okay? So I'm going to give him a pass on that one. I usually like a lot of stuff that he's done. I like the way this story started out. There's a bunch of flashback scenes of Cap when he was a boy growing up. He had an abusive father. His mother was the strong parent in the family. A lot of what made Steve Rogers what he is due to his mother. His mother, we see in the flashback, kind of meets a new friend. This new friend evidently has maybe conditioned Steve into becoming what he's become at the end of this book. Now, I will give a spoiler alert. I won't give it now. But what I try to do is when I talk about these books, this book being an exception because it was spoiled for me on the internet before I read it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to talk around this if you haven't read this book yet. And then at the very end, I'm going to give a spoiler alert and say this is why. But now there's also a pretty good fan theory out there. And it's kind of what I thought all along, to be honest. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. Another pro is I put this down as a pro with a question mark because it really wasn't a pro to me, but it might be a pro to some people, so I added it. We got the return of Jack Flag and True Spirit or Free Spirit. Okay, they're two, I don't even want to say really iconic allies of Cap back in the day, and now they're back and they're not reincarnated, but there's new people being them, I assume, unless the Cosmic Cube brought them back too. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Please stay with me on this. I don't get into them, so it really wasn't that big of a pro for me. But this was a big pro for me. Red Skull's back. Iconic Captain America villain. He's back. He's kind of doing what you kind of think a Red Skull would do if he was back in this day and age. What he's doing is he's taking all of society's fears that we have about everything right now, and he's manipulating people to come to his side, to see America like he wants it to be. And people are fed up, people are discouraged, and the Red Skull, he's a fucking talker, man, and he's talking to these people. there's a great story of Robbie Dean Tomlin. I'm sure that name means something to Nick Spencer. It might be a little Easter egg of something. I'm not sure. But there's a story about his life, about what led him into being in league with the Red Skull and doing what he does at the end of this comic. It's pretty epic. It's pretty tragic. It really makes you see a different side of a terrorist. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Please do not fucking misunderstand that statement. What I'm saying is I don't condone anything like that somebody does. There's no excuse for it. But when you see the life he led and the way he grew up and how the Red Skull appealed to him, it's really no different than what ISIS is doing to kids in these war-torn countries. They have nothing. Their families have been maybe killed, murdered maybe, or casualties of war. They have nothing. They have no money. They have no other family to help them. And then you've got this charismatic leader that has a great army behind them, and they're promising to do great things, and they're winning victories hand over fist. And these kids see that. They want to be a part of something. They want to feel proud of something. So, okay, enough of that soapbox. But Red Skull's back. But that story, Robbie Dean Tomlin's also a pro of this story because it's really done well by Nick Spencer. I think everybody's getting really caught up in the last page of this comic, which, don't get me wrong, I am too. We're going to talk about that. But the book itself, up until that point, was actually very, very solid. Okay, that's pretty much all the pros. Now we're going to get to some of the cons. Old Sharon Carter. For those of you that don't know, I don't know where the fuck you've been. If you're watching this, you should know because I'm sure you've seen Civil War. Cap and Sharon Carter are together. Okay, now stay with me for just a second. Before this comic book, Captain Rogers lost his super soldier serum. Okay, it made him very, very old. Okay, he had none of his strength, none of his size. He was just an old fucking man. Sharon Carter suffered a similar fate. She's old now, basically. Due to events of another comic book, there's a young girl that is basically the Cosmic Cube. The Cosmic Cube is the most powerful thing in the universe. This little girl, comprised of the Cosmic Cube, liked Steve, gave him his powers back, gave him the super soldier body back. So now Cap's young, strong, badass again, okay? Sharon Carter, not. Now, they're still together, okay? Now, take out of the equation that Cap was in love with her great-grandmother, okay? See how weird that is? Now, she's an old lady, and Cap's young, and they're still together and still knocking boots, it looks like. I don't know. Like I said, very strange. I don't like it. Find some way to give Sharon Carter back her looks and her age again. Because it's just weird. It adds nothing to the story. It's a remnant of another story that, like Cap's, old man Cap, it's played out. So let's just fucking get rid of it. I hope they do that soon. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. It's only a few pages, but I don't know. I didn't like it. All right. The one I had a huge problem with, Zemo. Zemo's in this issue as well. He's kind of our antagonist in this first issue. They make Zemo corny as hell. Now, if you watch the Avengers Assemble cartoon, it's pretty good. I mean, I watch it from time to time if I'm not doing anything. I always enjoy it. They always make me laugh a little bit. But the villains are so cheesy and so predictable. You know what I mean? It's for kids, right? That's the way they made Zemo. Zemo's saying this ridiculous shit about how, damn you, Steve Rogers, you foiled my plans again. I mean, shit like that. It's like, get the fuck out of here. All right. I don't like the way they made Zemo. I want Zemo to be a character worthy of being a villain. And right now he's throwaway. Okay. Rick Jones, who, if you're a comic book fan, you know Rick Jones from The Incredible Hulk. origin. Rick Jones was actually an honorary member of the Avengers for a while. That goes way back also. Rick Jones has been, he was A-bomb. He was in a gamma, not a gamma monster, but a gamma irradiated superhero for a while named A-bomb. The Hulk going on his little thing, got rid of all those people that were gamma irradiated and got rid of Rick Jones's power. Now he's a hacker. I mean, what the fuck? Where did that come from? I mean, I get it. You want Rick Jones in the story. Why? I don't know. You could have made a new character and have him be a hacker, but you wanted Rick Jones. Where did Rick Jones learn to hack at? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that happened in a comic book somewhere where, I don't know, he was, bit by a radioactive spider while he was trying to hack a porn site or something. I don't know. But he's a hacker now. So now he's in Cap's little group, him and Sharon Carter's little group, and he's hacking stuff. Thought it was fucking stupid. And another con I put in here is Jack Flag and Free Spirit are back. Like I said, a con, maybe not a con to me, but definitely not a pro. Some people might be like, oh, Jack Flag's back. That's cool. I love that character. Some people like those obscure characters. Me, not so much. They just really don't bring a lot. They're just kind of like cannon fodder. Like, I think they're putting stories so when they're killed, they can motivate our main hero to do something. So now, spoiler fucking alert, people. Spoiler alert. At the very last page, you haven't read Captain America, don't shut it off. At the very end, he's there to take out Zemo in the plane. Flag comes in to help Cap, even after Cap told him not to, that he had it. Flag takes out Zemo, and then Cap's sitting there going, oh, man, I wish you hadn't have done that. And Flag's like, what's up? What's wrong with you? Cap grabs Jack Flag and throws him out of the plane. And then he looks at Eric Selvig, who's the scientist that Cap was there to save, that Zemo had kidnapped, and says, Hail Hydra. Very last page is Cap looking at Selvig saying, Hail Hydra. So he's actually looking at the reader saying Hail Hydra, which makes it even worse. The internet fucking blew up, went ablaze. Oops, sorry. And everybody's pissed off. It looks like they're trying to make Cap a Hydra agent, like a sleeper Hydra agent for all these years. I don't think that's it, because that is fucking terrible. And Marvel's better than that. Nick Spencer's better than that. Zemo has captured Selvig because Selvig is a expert in cosmic energy, tracking cosmic energy. I think he wants to find this Kobik girl that is basically a cosmic cube not Mutilator, obviously. Maybe Mutilator, I don't know. Manipulate her into using her to his benefit. Now, with the cosmic cube in play, that's the reason I think that it can very easily alter reality. When she changed Cap back to the super soldier Cap we know and love, did she warp reality somehow? That's the reason Cap has these memories of his mother's friend. And at the very end of these flashback sequences, she's basically telling her mom she can be strong again. She doesn't need this guy, blah, 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 which, Steve Rogers' dad was abusive, drunk, beat his mom, beat him. This lady basically steps in and takes up for them. So thus getting inside their world. And then at the very end, she shows Steve's mom a book, and it's got the Hydra on it. So it looks like Steve was manipulated from early in his childhood to be a sleeper Hydra agent. It's obviously the Cosmic Cube, people. Obviously the Cosmic Cube. So the whole burning of the comic book and stuff, let's just cut it out. It's a comic book for one thing. I'm upset too. But like all good stories, they start one way, get you thinking this way, and then blam, coming through the back door, and then smack you on the back of the fucking head, be like, he's stupid, we're over here. And then you go, oh man, that was fucking great. So I'm hoping that that's what happens here. But now, my personal opinion. This is just me speaking because I'm a huge Captain America fan. Is this the story we really need? Is this the story we really want for this character? Captain America is a very hard character to write, and I'll tell you why. You're like, why? He's Cap. Right, he's Cap. That's basically why he's hard to write for. Just like Superman, very hard character to write because he's so unrelatable to people. Cap is sometimes unrelatable to people because he always does the fucking right thing, right? He's goddamn the patriot. He's the Boy Scout. He makes no mistake. The motherfucker you probably think don't even watch porn because you feel like he's cheating on Sharon if he watches porn. Not realistic. Okay? Not relatable to most people that are picking up that comic. Okay? So I would love to see a story where they take Cap and kind of twist him a little bit. He's always going to come back being Cap because that's who he is and that's the core character. Don't ever change the core character. That's not what I'm saying. But it's okay to have a battle of faith, a doubt in your own self that you might do the wrong thing. And then, oh shit, I do the wrong thing. How can I redeem myself? That would be a great Cap story to read. I want to see Cap on the verge of losing his shit over a loss, and that like Cap's tired of being the good guy. Maybe he does dabble on the dark side, and then maybe something does make him see the light. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just saying there's a lot of stories I feel like they can do with Cap that they haven't done yet. I feel like this whole Hydra thing, it's been done. In one form or another, it's been done. I can think of 3 comic books right off the top of my head that kind of play along this lines of sleeper agent Cap or a doppelganger Hydra Cap. You know what I mean? So that's enough. That's enough for Captain America #1. Blazing Defender rule. If I buy a first issue of any comic book, I stay with it for 3 issues. Okay, that way I feel that comic books are expensive. They're not cheap. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. So for you to keep my attention, I gave you 3 books to grab me, to make me want to buy your book every week. Now, or every month, excuse me. So if you don't do that in 3 issues, I feel like you're not going to do it at all. That's just my rule. So staying with it for 3 issues. We'll see. He's my favorite character. So I pray that this is a book that I end up really, really enjoying. Now, we're going to get to another book that I've been loving since this guy took it on, and that is the Mighty Thor. Again, for my blog talkers, I apologize. I'm showing the cover right now. That guy there is, I wrote his name down, Boldoff the Black. He was a Viking that used to pray to Thor. Anytime he went into battle with his men, he would pray to Thor. Thor would show up and trash motherfuckers with him. Okay? But then afterward, it's Thor. Okay? Young Thor. This is before Mjolnir Thor. So afterward, he's Thor. He's going to have his revels. All right? He's going to party. He's going to drink all your fucking meat. He's going to bang all your chicks. And what bothered Boldoff was he's going to get everybody's admiration. So even though Boldoff was the warrior in charge, he didn't know if he could win, or his men thought, well, it's Thor that's causing your victories. It's not really you. You're praying to Thor, and Thor's helping us out. So Boldoff said, fuck that. That's enough. All right. Now we're in this issue. Boldoff has made a deal with Loki. Now, Loki, this is a story that Loki is telling Dario Agger. Dario Agger is the CEO of Roxxon, which is an evil corporation. He's also a Minotaur. He's an evil guy, okay? And he's wanting something more. He's in an alliance with Malekith. And I'm just trying to give you a little backstory if you haven't read Thor before, which, God, I don't know why you're not reading Thor. This is an amazing book. It's always an amazing book. So he went to Loki to get some backup in case Malekith gets out of line, because he feels like Malekith is getting really powerful now. He's in this alliance with Malekith, but he's like, I need a backup plan. He goes to Loki. So Loki goes and tells him this story about Baldolph the Black. Okay? Now, it's a great fucking story. So, my pros and cons again, okay? When we're trying this format to see how it works. My pros for the book. Jason fucking Aaron. Jason the Pimp Aaron. Maybe the best writer at Marvel right now. He's on this. He's on Star Wars. He's on Doctor Strange. All phenomenal books. I don't know how the guy does it, but he just fucking does it. I've loved this book since the day he's got on it. All right. My second pro. This is a old story of young Thor. Okay. I love this Thor. The Thor that doesn't have the hammer. He's just an immortal. He comes down, fucking swinging Jabron or whatever the fuck whatever his axe name is, and just fucking people up, man. Then he bangs bitches and drinks beer. Come on. What more? What more could you want out of an old Thor story? But it's relevant. If it's true, we're going to get to that. Basically, this is a Thor versus the Hulk story. And what I say about if it's true or not, we're going to get into this because another one of my pros is Loki makes a reference to other Marvel heroes throughout his story. Thor and Baldolph's battle is so epic and large in scale, it spans continents. And he makes reference to a panther in the jungle taking notice. He makes, there's actually a Ghost Rider on a bear, like in the native Americas, okay? Because this is all back in the Viking days. It's not really America yet, but it's just a land that will be one day known as the Americas. He's like riding a fucking bear. This Ghost Rider was really cool. Who else did he make? Oh, they're in an ocean fighting, and this Atlantean grabs this chick. It's not Namorda. It's not Namor. It's this amphibian chick. And they say, hey, the Queen of Atlantis doesn't need to worry about surface dwellers. And she's like, maybe not today, but maybe soon. She swims off. Who the fuck is that? And then Shaolo the dragon from Shaolo, the mystical land of Kung Fu, of Iron Fist. It says the battle was so great, it distracted the great dragon Shaolu long enough for his heart to be pierced. Holy shit. What Iron Fist was that in what era? Okay. If this is true. And then, of course, the Hulk. Because at the end of our story, when Baldolph is defeated, it says that he's left wandering the world trying to keep the beast in check. And he's all skinny and shit, walking. Now, I think Loki was lying about all this. I don't think this is a true story at all. So, but Loki's telling this story. It's fucking Loki, right? He's probably lying. Or is he? That's what makes this another great story, because there's stuff in it that probably did happen. So, and then it's just Thor. My last pro was Thor just being a badass. And there's a moment where Baldolph was kicking his ass. Okay. Well, then Loki kind of shows up and is like, hey, what are you doing? Finish this clown. Well, then Baldolph takes offense to it. And he says, Baldolph smash. Okay. So while he's beating up Loki, Thor kind of takes a break. And he tells a couple Vikings, go get me your strongest mead and your prettiest women. And basically, he drinks mead and bangs bitches until he gets his second win. Then he goes and fucking finishes the fight. Typical badass Thor. Love it. Okay, now my cons. The artwork. I get the style of artwork. It's I don't want to say a elementary style of artwork, but that's kind of what it is. And some of it, I know it's supposed to look like it was kind of old. It does give that impression. But sometimes I look at it and I don't know what I'm looking at. Like I got to kind of look and be like, oh, there's his face there. And, you know, especially with Baldolph and Loki fighting. So I don't know if this was intentionally done or if this is this guy's art. Just didn't like the artwork. That's just matter. I mean, some people may love it. I didn't. I thought If Asad Rabik had done this story, it might be my favorite story of all time. But it just didn't like the artwork. And then, not really sure what the story had to do with the ending of the comic. It sounds a little unrelated. Now, basically, Diario, he's telling him this story, and at the end, he's giving Diario's security force dragon's blood. They're drinking dragon's blood. And even Diario says, what's this got to do with anything? Are you telling me this story for a reason? And Loki kind of gives a half-ass answer. I really didn't understand it. So they drink this dragon's blood, and Loki says, when the screaming stop, you'll have your army. So obviously this blood's going to change them somehow, and you don't see that. It's totally off panel. So we're going to find out eventually what that was. But all in all, it's a super fantastic book. $3.99. The other books were $3.99, or Cap wasn't. Cap was $4.99, which should have been a con that I listed, but I didn't. But Jason Aaron, great book. Thor, the Mighty Thor, fucking fantastic. It'll make you a Thor fan. It did me. Okay, now we've got a great book here, Justice League number 50. That's a John Romita cover there. They're all kind of flying in action. You got Batman on the bike. It's pretty cool. I don't know how Cyborg's flying. Does he fly? I didn't know if he flew or not. All right. Now, if you've been reading Darkside War, then you know how epic this run by Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok has been. Holy crap. The New 52, the Justice League stories, and the Batman stories were by far the best stories, in my opinion. Love Darkside War. This 50 basically ties up the war and sets up DC's Rebirth, which we're going to talk about because I have DC Rebirth 0 right here. So, let me get to it. Some of the pros. Lots and lots of action and story. I can't even begin to dive into this. You really have to read the other 7 parts of Darkside War to even know what the fuck is going on. But trust me, you're going to want to know, and it's a great ride. They do an excellent job of tying things up. Now, I say excellent job. What I mean is they leave no loose ends, which is cool. How they do that may have been a little rushed, but that's in the cons section. Darkside War wrapped it nicely, maybe a bit too fast. That was a pro, or actually a pro and a con. The artwork is pimp. Jason Fabok, it does a fucking fantastic job. I mean, is there a splash page in here? All right, I'm just going to show you this page. This is Darkside and Grail. Can you see that? I know you blog talkers are going, "Mo, motherfuckers, on audio, stupid." But from YouTubers and Facebook Live, that's just some of the artwork. Fucking fantastic. Love this shit. Love this fucking book. It was fucking great. The artwork's pimp. It's a great setup for Rebirth. Now, in DC Rebirth, which we're going to talk more in depth here in a minute, but it is basically DC not really relaunching things, but they're kind of repackaging things. Okay? And they have a story that we're going to talk about that sets it up perfectly. But read this first in DC Rebirth will make it just a little bit more sense. It's not necessary reading at all, but it sets up DC Rebirth. And it does it in a very, very elegant way, and which made sense. It ain't like, no, that was a fucking plot device for DC Rebirth. No, not at all. This seamlessly flows in to Rebirth, the things that happen in this Darkside War. Okay, Seth Rebirth. We get 2 huge reveals for Wonder Woman and Batman. One apiece. Huge reveal for Wonder Woman, something she never knew, something that's going to change her mythos, and Batman as well. You may have heard the rumors about Batman's. So I don't want to give that away. This should be a huge spoiler. I don't want to give that away at all, so I won't. But those are 2 very big things that come out of this book. You're going to want to read it. The cons. You're going to be like, there's fucking cons? Yeah, unfortunately. I try to be as objective as I can, guys. I really do. I love all this shit. Okay, I buy it, so I fucking love it. But it doesn't mean that I can't find something wrong with it, or I can't say, ooh, someone would see that as a con. Try to be objective about it. $5.99, motherfucker. $6? Holy shit. I mean, that's a fucking 6-pack. That's a fucking 6-pack of bottles. So $5.99, expensive, but in my opinion, way fucking worth it. I'd have paid $10 for that book and been fucking happy, fucking more than happy. So okay, $5.99. All right, major story tied up maybe a little too neatly. This was a lot of stuff to finish in one book, but it's huge. It's not quite double sized, but it's fucking close. It's close to double sized. Things get tied up pretty neatly. You know, like, oh, he had an ability to do that? Oh, I didn't know that. That was convenient, but it still made sense. So I'm not bitching about it at all, but just a little, maybe not so much in one issue. Still great. No complaints. Okay. Now, this may be a slight spoiler, but I thought this was a con. In Batman's big reveal, his secret that's revealed to him, he's in the Mobius chair. Basically, Batman, for a long time of this book, most of the Darkside War, he's the god of knowledge. So basically, anything he wanted to know, he could know. Like a certain certain major villain of his identity. Okay? The chair does tell him a little bit about it. This is my con. If he asks the Mobius chair a question, the Mobius chair answers him. It don't give him another fucking question. Okay? It's the fucking Mobius chair. You're the god of knowledge, dude. All right? You don't be asking questions with questions. That's just bullshit. You're not a god of knowledge at all. So, it gives him basically, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without fucking just giving it away. But he basically tells him, yes, kinda. All right. Still big reveal. You'll see what I'm talking about when you read it. And then my last con was, where did Grail and Baby Darkside go? You're going, what'd you say, baby? Did I hear you say Baby Darkside? Yes, Baby Darkside. It was actually pretty cool. Actually, that picture you seen was Baby Darkside, but he goes back to a baby. You just got to read it. It's pretty cool. I love Grail. Grail is like the daughter of Darkside and an Amazon. So she's basically Wonder Woman with some Darkside ability. She's fucking dope. Gave the Justice League all they wanted. All they wanted. Kicked her ass in the first meeting. Like, just tore them up because they didn't know who the fuck she was. So where did they go? Like, we see them after something happens, and I'm like, what, did just teleport them? What the fuck? I want an explanation. I want to know why they are where they are and where the fuck are they. So all in all, fucking fantastic book. I mean, if you're a DC fan, you love the Justice League stuff. Darkside War, man. I'm trying to think of a Justice League story arc that I've read in recent years that I've liked as much as this. I get really excited when I see it. So that's a great indication. When I get really excited when I see it out that month, I'm like, fuck yeah. That's a good sign. Justice League number 50. Check it out. All right. Now, I'll tell you what. Let's just go into Rebirth real quick. I don't have Rebirth notes right, y'all. Or Rebirth notes. Here they are. Okay. DC Rebirth. I'm going to show you this picture here. It was by Ethan Van Scribner, who's a fantastic artist. It's pretty much got everybody that's going to be a big part of the DC Rebirth universe. Huge issue. Guarantee you it's double sized, if not more. And a huge pro of this book, this big, thick-ass book. Can you see how thick that book is? That's a thick-ass comic book. $2.99. They want to get everybody on board for this. Kudos, DC. I've really been critical of some of your marketing choices in the past few years. with your stupid variant covers and your bag variant covers that you won't let us see what's inside till we get it. I don't like that shit. It's a gimmick. I don't like gimmicks. This is number one issue for $2.99. Great way to get people on board. Fantastic artwork. Fucking great story. And I'll tell you what even makes the story even greater. Let me just get to my pros list first. $2.99, of course, great. This may be a perfect comic book. Now, you're going, perfect comic book? What the fuck? There is no such thing. You're right. There isn't. I just can't find a con. Maybe it was too long. Maybe there was just too much fucking awesomeness in those pages. Maybe it could have been $1.99. Maybe you could have gave me to the motherfucker free. Maybe. I don't know. For me, it may be the perfect comic book, which is blowing my shit right now because I'm a Marvel guy. Check it out. Marvel. I got Marvel shit. I do have a Batman over here. Love Batman. Love Superman. Love Justice League. But Marvel's my jam. This may be the perfect comic book, and I'm gonna tell you why. It sets up the new DC universe effortlessly. I mean, like, this story is amazing, and what happens is I'm not this way too much to even break it all down for you. In a nutshell, Wally West, who's a Flash, okay, is in the Speed Force. During the New 52, some big bad that we haven't seen yet, or are they a big bad? Stay with me. Stole 10 years from everyone. What the fuck does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means there's a lot of people that don't remember Wally West as the Flash. A lot of people. He was basically erased. So what he's doing is he's going through the Flash Force, the Speed Force, if you will, trying to find someone that he has a connection with, trying to get them to remember him. Because he exists, he was there, but someone has stole this time from people. He's going through the DC universe, and as he does this, and he sees different people that he's had in his past, the stories are unfolding. And I don't want to even call them like little vignettes, but they are. They're kind of like little vignettes of things that are going to relaunch this DC rebirth. It was masterfully fucking done, Jeff Johns, you son of a bitch. It's incredible. I love it. Now, it's a plot device. Fucking kudos. It's the most fantastic plot device ever. He's running for his life because the Speed Force is wanting to take his Speed Force to get to the next generation of speedsters. So he can't survive long in this thing. He's got to find somebody that remembers him. If you can find somebody that remembers him, it will anchor him into that reality. Do you see what I'm saying? That kind of made fucking sense, didn't it? Yeah? I'm not even drinking this episode. What the fuck? So, it made sense to me, goddamn, it makes sense. So, he's looking for this person. He goes to girlfriends. He goes to other heroes. He goes to Batman. The first person he goes is to Batman, the world's greatest detective. He figured out Infinite Crisis, right? He'll figure this shit out. Batman's kind of got some shit going on that came from Darkside War number 50. That's what I'm saying. If you read Darkside War number 50, then go to DC Rebirth, you're going to be like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay. But you don't need to. Like I said, this book stands alone. This book needs nothing else. You don't even know who the fuck Wally West was, because let me tell you something. Spoiler, I didn't either. Like, I know he was a Flash, but I never read a Wally West comic book. I never read a Flash Wally West comic book ever. So, but he's going through this, blah, blah, blah. And then the book gets emotional. Like, I can't even spoil it, because I was like, I'm turning the page like this. What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh, no. Oh my God, you motherfuckers. Man, if a comic book can make me do that, it's source to the roof. Okay, I'm not done yet. Every DC hero of this new rebirth makes an appearance. And like, again, I said 1,000 times, it's seamless. They're not in it happenstance just to get them in there because they're part of rebirth. They're part of the story, which is really, really good. The artwork. Ethan Van Scribner, you're amazing. There's actually a few different artists on this, and it's all so good. It's all so fucking good. You're gonna love it. Story again, amazing, emotional. It's an emotional story, like it's a roller coaster. And then there's a mystery to be solved here. Now, this is where it sets it fucking off. This is a gas bomb that turns into a fucking nuclear bomb when they drop the hint of who stole the time. And I'd be goddamned if I fucking spoil it for you on this show. No fucking sirree, Bob. Nope, not doing it. Because when I read it, I went, is that? Holy fucking shit, I think it is. And then I turn next page, and then they give you another one. Like, they go, stupid. And then you're going, what? And then you turn the next page, and then they go, whack! They crack you in the fucking jaw and go, yeah, dummy, you was right the first time. I texted Big Sam and was like, dude, does this mean? He's like, yes. And I was like, oh my God. So, maybe the perfect book. Cons list? None, motherfuckers. There ain't none. Like I said, too much awesomeness. Could have been 50 cents. Maybe you could have had Jim Lee on it. I don't know. None of that would have made it any better. It would have just been as awesome. So kudos, DC. I was a huge critic of this rebirth bullshit. That was another gimmick. Thought, God damn, what is DC doing to their universe? They're destroying it. On the right path. That's all I can say. I just hope this is something more to come. I'm a comic book fan. Make me a bigger DC fan than I was. I'd be super stoked about that. Fantastic fucking comic book. All right, now you see why I wanted to get the show out to you motherfuckers today. Now let's talk about another fantastic comic book that's good month in and month out. Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars number 19. It's hard to believe there's already been 19 issues of this book. It's phenomenal. All right, let me get here's my pros. Art is by Liental Yu. Now, I know some people are critical of him. I always have been, but let me tell you something. He has tamed his style down. He's gotten tighter with his pencils. His pencils aren't so abstract, maybe is the word I'm looking for. They're so much tighter, cleaner. Just in the detail, he's still just massive amounts of detail. Phenomenal. Phenomenal artwork. I love it. He makes all the characters look like Leia, Luke, Han, C3. They all look exactly like they should look. It looks fantastic. A great wrap up to a cool story arc. This is basically about a secret prison that the rebels had. Yeah, it sounds like something that the Empire would have, but no. The rebels had a secret base by a fucking sun that you could only get so close before you got sucked into the sun. And they had a bunch of people held there. Very, very cool stuff. And they wrapped that story up really, really nicely. And it's the return of someone. It's kind of a spoiler. I don't know if I should say it or not, so I won't. He was actually in the Star Wars Annual #1. He's a spy that kind of makes his return, and he's not happy. Very, very cool. I kind of guessed it a couple issues ago who it might be just by something that he said, and I was really hoping it was him because he was a very, very cool character. But you're going to have to read this issue to find out who it was. He made his debut in Star Wars Annual #1. And at the very end of this book, not only do we get a very nice wrap up, very clean tale, we get maybe a new Star Wars villain at the end of this. He's a stormtrooper. He's got like a energy sword. I think they call him a vibro blade. Looks pretty badass. So I'm like, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy? So they're already introducing new villains, so that we haven't heard of. Very, very cool. Cons. Oh shit! I put Jason Aaron as a con. I didn't mean that. Jason Aaron, she goes in the pro section. You all know that. Letting Dr. Aphra go. Invader's book, which is fantastic as well. He's had an accomplice this maybe since issue 4 on. Is a chick named Dr. Aphra. She's like a bionics specialist and a master thief. pretty cool combination, right? Vader utilizes her to the T. She was captured and in this prison by Leia and company, and she basically has to friend them. It's an uneasy alliance when this dude comes to take over the cell, and he's not coming to bust people out, he's coming to kill people. All right, and his message is he's trying to show Leia she has to be stronger if they're going to beat the Empire, because he's seen the evil of the Empire up close. So he's kind of fucked up in the head now, but he's trying to teach a tough lesson. But they let her go at the end, and it was kind of funny how they did it. But I'm kind of like, would you really let her go, being Vader's right-hand man? I don't think you'd let her go. Now, they did say they tracked her, but they know she's too sharp for that. She's going to find it. So I thought that was a little silly. R2-D2 and C-3PO, you can maybe see that as conveniently being in the right place at the right time. I feel like what they did to the prison, this guy would have already been a step ahead of him, since he's been a step ahead of him the whole time. But still, Leia had a great plan, and it worked. And that's basically it. That's my cons. This is a fantastic book, guys. It is $3.99. Well worth it. If you're a Star Wars fan, the Star Wars book and the Darth Vader book, they're must-gets for you. It's fantastic. Poe Dameron, which is a new story that they just started. I was the biggest critic of that because I wasn't a huge fan of Force Awakens or Poe Dameron for that matter. They're making me love Poe Dameron. Charles Soule is making me love that motherfucker. I think he's so cool. So this is a great book, man. I don't know what else more I can say about it. Great, fantastic book. Now, the next book I want to talk about it's one of my favorite series of 2016, Tokyo Ghost. It's a super awesome Sean Murphy cover there. Okay. I really don't have my notes on that because, I love this book, especially a story about technology taking over the world. You've got two heroes, a guy named Teddy, or they call him Led Dent. He's a constable that works basically for the government, and you have his girlfriend named Debbie. Now, Led is he's kind of steroid enhanced and everything now. He works for this government that keep him jacked in all the time. When I say jacked in, like we are today, it's a mirror image of what we go through as a society today. Go to dinner, go anywhere, I don't give a fuck where you're going, and watch what people do now. People don't sit and talk across the table at dinner when you go out to eat. They're on their phones. They're plugged in all the time. Now, I know I sound like I'm being antagonistic about it. I'm not, because thank you for being fucking plugged in because you're watching this show. But it's about society that basically people can't function. They don't want to function anymore. They want to be entertained and numb all the time. That's Led. There's a reason for that. I mean, we're in issue 7, so you got to kind of read the rest of the story previous to find out why Led's the way he is. But he and Debbie were a couple. They were together. Some bad shit happened 2 issues ago. It's led to the government wanting to move to a place to Tokyo, where Tokyo was a haven with no electronics. People were happy. People loved each other. There was camaraderie. They grew crops and all this stuff. Nothing was artificial. And then Led came, and it's not there anymore. Now, Debbie is basically, I always wanted to know, we didn't know for like 5 or 6 issues, I think it was 5 issues, Tokyo Ghost. Where's this name coming from? Well, Debbie has become the Tokyo Ghost. She's out kicking ass now, taking names for what people did to Tokyo. And it looks like she's going to hold Led responsible. Now, what makes this such a fantastic story is it looks like it might shift the other way. Like, I love it when heroes look like fucking heroes. And then as the story progresses, it might swing back around. I forget what it was. They said, if you stay the hero long enough, you see yourself as a villain at the end of the story. That's kind of what they're doing here. I think, I don't know. Rick Remender, fantastic writer. Sean Murphy, excellent art. It's so beautiful, as you've seen by that cover. It's violent. It's not for kids, guys. Don't be getting this for your fucking 9-year-old. He'll be fucking jacking off in the bathroom all the time. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of nudity. And one of my pros to this was no more old man dick. There was a scene in the last issue of the guy that kind of, his name's Mayor Flack. He kind of runs everything. And there was a scene where he was getting a blowjob and it was disgusting. I don't really even know. It would have been a con in last week's show or last Tokyo Ghost episode show because it was purely for shock value. I really don't even know why it was in there. But he don't wear any pants. This cat don't. He don't wear any pants. Well, I can say without a doubt, no more old man dick from Mayor Flack. So that's the reason the show called No More Old Man Dick. This is a fantastic story. I feel heartbroken for Led and Debbie and their relationship. It was a love story. Then it was a story of hope. Then it was a story of tragedy. And now it's a story of fucking revenge. So Rick Remenders did a fantastic fucking job on this book. If I could say, if there was a con to this book, it would be some of the, I guess, like, you don't see a lot of the other world, or like Mayor Flack is like the only guy. Like you would think there would be more people involved and not just one figurehead, but he's kind of the figurehead. And like I said, this issue kind of changes that. So I'm curious to see where this goes now. But we're obviously coming to a showdown between Led and Debbie, and Led feels horrible about what happened in Tokyo because he was partially responsible. He was kind of forced to do what he did, but he really didn't have any fucking choice. I mean, it's a heart-wrenching story. So, Tokyo Ghost, fantastic. Please get the trades. Or go buy the fucking originals. Read it online. I don't give a fuck how you read it. Just fucking read it, guys. This is a fantastic story. It's not superhero and capes, mind you. It's sci-fi, well, and futuristic, but maybe not that far in the fucking future, right? But definitely mirrors today's society and what people go through and what relationships go through to a certain extent. So, and in the threat of big corporation, we're in an election year and everybody wants to talk about special interest groups and who's loyal to who's loyal to the people, who's loyal to the corporation. So, a lot of society's themes goes on this book. You're going to fucking love it. I swear to God, you're going to fucking love this book. But guys, with that, I think I've sweat all I can fucking sweat. I think I've lost 20 pounds doing this episode. But I really wanted to get this out to you to show you what great comic books we have right now. Please give me your feedback. Please check out Meatheads on Movies. I love doing that show. Love doing this show too. But me and Big Sam, we sit up here, we cut up, we talk about movies, and we love movies and the content of the movies that we watch. So most of the time we love it. When we don't love it, we let you know we didn't love it. But we're very unbiased, and we kind of give you a different angle than what another movie reviewer might give you. For one thing, we're fans of the genre. Whatever genre we're going to review, we're fans of that. So we want to like it. But like I said, Sam and I both are pretty good at being objective and maybe even being a little critical of even things we like. So I think that makes for a good show. And we can bring in comic book elements and that part of it too. Give you a little comparison like we did with our Civil War episode. Please check that out. The Captain America 3 Civil War review is up on the YouTube channel, Blazing Defender at YouTube, and on Blog Talk as well. I believe that episode's up as well. So, but guys, if you've watched the show this far, thank you very much. Facebook, let me know how I did on Facebook Live. I cannot see shit since I turned it on. I have no idea if it's even still fucking running. My phone died or what. So please give me your feedback. Instagram, Twitter, I'm on all of it. Tumblr, Snapchat, I'm on all that shit. Blazing Defender. It's either Blazing Defender or Blazing Defender Report. That's a lot to fucking say, so sometimes I don't like writing it out because I'm lazy. But guys, please give me your feedback. Let me know what you thought. Loot Crate, Giant Size Team Up Network, all that shit. If you forget any of it, hit me up on any of those social media sites. I'll give it all to you again. With that, guys, I'm out of here, and please enjoy the week. Be fucking safe, and for God fucking sake, start loving one another. Black, white, green, gay, 2 titties, 3 titties, 2 dicks, old man dick. It don't make no difference. Love everybody. We've only got one go around, guys. And with that, the Blazing Defender is out. See you guys. Peace.